I don't care what you think, and you will open this gate immediately. We have rules here, whether you like it or not.
You ever have that one neighbor who thinks the whole world revolves around them? Yeah, that's Karen. So grab your popcorn, because this story will make your blood boil and make you grateful you don't live next to someone like her. But before we jump in, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, because these HOA stories just keep getting crazier, and you won't want to miss what happens next. It all started on a warm Saturday morning. I was working on my small family farm, feeding the animals, fixing fences, just enjoying the peace and quiet. Then out of nowhere, I heard the familiar sound of Karen's SUV pulling up. You know that sound, the one that already makes you roll your eyes? She steps out, sunglasses on, with that fake smile that says, "I'm about to ruin your day." And trust me, she did. If you love watching justice served cold, make sure to subscribe, because this story is one for the books. Karen wasted no time. "Hey, we're having a neighborhood event today," she said, "and I told everyone we'd use your farm for the kids to pet animals and ride ponies." I stared at her, trying to process the audacity. My farm? Without asking? She was talking like she owned the place. I calmly told her that I already had plans and that my animals weren't for public entertainment. Her smile disappeared faster than you could say entitlement. And if you enjoy seeing Karens get what they deserve, hit subscribe right now, because this is just getting started. Her tone flipped instantly. "You can't say no," she barked. "I'm the head of the HOA, and I'll have you fined if you refuse to cooperate." My jaw dropped. Since when could an HOA fine me for protecting my own property? I told her this was private land, and she had zero authority here. That's when she stomped her heels into the dirt, crossed her arms, and said, "We'll see about that." I could feel my blood pressure rising, but I held my ground, because letting her win would only make her worse. Hours later, I heard laughter, music, and cars pulling up. My stomach dropped. Karen had actually invited people to my property without permission. Dozens of kids and parents were climbing over my fence, taking pictures with my animals, and treating my barn like a party zone. My goats were panicking, chickens scattering everywhere. It was chaos. I stormed outside, furious, yelling, "Everyone needs to leave now!" You could hear a pin drop when Karen turned around, pretending to be shocked, like I was the one ruining her event. She had the nerve to say, "You're embarrassing yourself in front of the neighbors." I couldn't believe it. I told everyone they were trespassing, and that I'd call the police if they didn't leave immediately. Some parents quickly grabbed their kids and apologized. They clearly didn't know she didn't have permission. But Karen? She stood her ground, shouting that this was a community event, and that I should be honored to host it. Oh, the nerve of that woman. I walked right past her, grabbed my phone, and called the sheriff's office. "We've got people trespassing on my private property," I said, keeping my voice calm even though my hands were shaking. When the deputy arrived, you could see the color drain from Karen's face. The officer asked, "Ma'am, do you have the owner's permission to be here?" Karen tried to talk her way out of it, saying, "Well, I represent the neighborhood." The officer didn't even blink before replying, "That's not how the law works, ma'am." You could practically see the steam coming out of her ears. "He's overreacting," she yelled. But when the officer looked around and saw the mess, animal feed scattered, fences broken, kids running loose, he wasn't having it. He told everyone to pack up and leave immediately. One parent muttered, "Karen, you said this was approved." And that's when it hit everyone. She'd lied to the whole neighborhood just to look important. The crowd started dispersing, shaking their heads at her arrogance. After everyone left, I started cleaning up the mess they'd made. Karen lingered, red-faced and fuming. "You'll regret embarrassing me," she hissed. I turned around slowly and said, "No, Karen. You'll regret trespassing on private property." She stormed off, heels crunching on the gravel, muttering threats under her breath. I could still feel my hands trembling from the adrenaline, but deep down, I knew I did the right thing. A few days later, I got a letter from the HOA, signed by Karen, of course, claiming I violated community spirit by not participating in neighborhood events. I laughed so hard I nearly dropped the paper. I sent it straight to my lawyer, who wrote back reminding them that my farm wasn't even part of the HOA boundaries. Turns out, Karen didn't even have jurisdiction over my property. When the HOA board found out, they weren't happy with her little stunt. Karen was forced to step down as HOA president for overstepping her authority. Apparently, the other board members were tired of her drama, too. When she came by to apologize, a week later, she couldn't even look me in the eye. "Sorry for the misunderstanding," she mumbled. I smiled and said, "No misunderstanding, Karen. Just boundaries." She didn't reply, just turned around and walked away, humiliated. Since then, the neighborhood's been a lot quieter. People wave when they pass my farm, and some even stop by to ask before visiting the animals, politely this time. It's funny how one entitled person can cause so much chaos, but also how one firm no can change everything. And if there's one thing this taught me, it's that standing your ground doesn't make you rude, it makes you respected. So to anyone out there dealing with a Karen in their neighborhood, remember this: you don't owe them your peace, your property, or your patience. Protect what's yours, because people like that will take every inch you give them. And if you enjoyed this story, or if it reminded you of your own Karen nightmare, make sure to hit that subscribe button and join our growing community of HOA survivors. Because trust me, the next story I'm about to tell will make this one look tame.